Hey, beautiful souls, beautiful sunshine, here with the Holistic Killer, aka Sonia B. I am back with another quick prophetic message. I just want to say, for those of you who are new to my channel, I just want to say welcome. And for those of you who are returning back, I want to say welcome back. Thank you so much for visiting my channel. I would like to say that first of all. And the other thing I would like to let you guys know, for those of you who do not know, I'm an intuitive, clairvoyant, Hayoka empath who receives divine prophetic dream messages. Let's see. Okay, so keep in mind that these energies could be happening to some of you guys, as I said before, for those of you who are, well, for those of you who are new to my channel, that these energies could be occurring today. They may have already started with some people in different locations. It could also be a situation of maybe a few days from now, could be tomorrow, next week, 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, a month from now, whatever, so on and so on. Take it how it resonates. But energy is, you know, energy is almost like timeless. It just depends on your location on the planet of when you will receive that, or when you start to see manifestations of this word, should I say, or just the events happening that I'm explaining to you. And keep in mind too that if it's also not resonating with you, it could be happening to somebody that is close to you, somebody with around you, a boss, cousin, family member, spouse, you know, take it how it resonates, a friend, whoever. So it could just be somebody else that you know that is actually going through this particular situation. But anyway, with that being said, let me get right into the message. Just understand that these messages kind of came in little riddles last night. So, and Divine Spirit of Light does that to me from time to time. What up? Yeah, okay. That was a message just for me only. But anyway, so yeah, the little riddles come in from time to time, and it's almost like, okay, I'm like being sent on a scavenger hunt. Okay, well, figure out what this means, figure out what that means. Anyway, so with that being said, the first thing I heard in the dream was 6-point star. And I was like, woke up and said 6-point star. Okay, I knew what that was, but I just had to make sure. You know, some people represent it as, I think it's like the Star of David, the Jewish star. You know, it just depends. Everybody has their own little interpretation, especially for us culture. Well, for us culture wise is what I'm hearing, as well as for us religion wise, you know, different perspectives. But anyway, so I woke up this morning thinking to myself, 6-point star, 6-point star. I was like, okay, so I know what that means. I know it definitely means like a form of protection, but at the same time, I was like, okay, I had to, as I was dreaming this dream, I was sitting up there counting the 6 points and trying to figure out where they was, as I'm in the middle of waking up from a dream, writing this information down. And then I revisited again this morning when I woke up, and I was like, okay, count the points. And then I was like, okay, the first thing I knew was when I saw the points, once I started to count them, I had to see I'm visual. So I had to see the shape of how it was, even though I know it says 6 points, but I still had to see it. But anyway, I knew right then and there it had something to do with the masculine and the feminine energy. So, but anyway, with that being said, I actually even kind of went to Google too, just a little further, so you guys understand. But this is kind of what and see, an occult, if I'm saying that right, people refer to it as like the hexagram. But anyway, this basically says, the cool thing about the sacred geometry is its shape, ability to be repeated and remixed. The hexagram, or a 6-point star, is a common shape used in many religions and cultures around the world. It's made from 2 position triangles, which represents the masculine and the feminine energy. As I said, earth and sky interlocks in perfect harmony. Complex geometric forms are said to be even more powerful than simpler ones, as their numerous intersection points resonate higher energies. The hexagram reminds us of our place in the world, halfway between earth and sky, and at the epic center of our own personal power. So, and then it also says, kind of just going into a little bit more detail, but something similar to what I just said. Basic shapes is 2 interlocked triangles representing masculine and feminine, earth and sky interlocking perfect harmony. As above, so below. Symbols humans' positions between the earth and cosmos. Overlapping hexagrams results in numerous intersections points that resonates higher energies than simpler shapes. So I say all that to say that that message came through because the divine spirit of light wants you guys to know that higher energies is coming through here. Higher energies are coming through here for those of you who have chosen to change your mindset, change your action, change your thought forms, or even just make an initial step. As I said before, sometimes when you even just take one simple step, you know, God will make 2 more steps when he's just see that you're faithful and, you know, you're faithful in your doing, should I say. So with all that being said, keep in mind, so some of you may start to notice things kind of changing and it may be a little foreign to you, but just keep in mind it's higher energy from the higher realms, should I say. So for me, it's a beautiful thing. I could just feel the energy flowing and so on and so on, and I actually enjoy that type of environment because I'm an air sign, which is an Aquarius, and oh my God, like that air, like I'm always up in the cosmos in my head. That's, you know, but anyway, but with all that being said, so I just wanted you guys to know that divine spirit of light wanted you guys to know that, wanted you guys to know basically that expect higher energies to be coming through here, higher information, higher energies from higher realms. But anyway, so the next dream that I had was, this came in a form of somebody coming to me and they said, hey, like I got a surprise for you. This is the second message. Like I got a surprise for you. And I was like, oh, okay. I was thinking like, what surprise do they have for me? But then it's like when they saw me, they were showing me like a little box. And a little box represents, you know how, let's just say in a box that comes with an engagement ring, you know, how somebody opens it up and say, you know, and shows the diamond or whatever. Well, okay. So that's how it came to me. So when I saw the individual, when they said they had a surprise that they wanted to tell me something, so the surprise wasn't so much it was for me, but the surprise was for them, because I guess it was like, that's, excuse me, it's almost like a position, I guess, that they wanted to be in. But the thing that came to me, to my mind, I was like, oh, I said, I'm so happy for you. Like in a dream, I said, I'm so happy for you. And I was, because I know that that's something that that individual wanted. But I say all that to say, then I got to realizing, and my intuition kicked in, and my intuition and my intuitive side kicked in. And the first thing I said was, I was like, well, if somebody proposed to her, why would she be holding the box in her hand with the ring still in it? Why wouldn't the ring be on her hand? Most people would be like this. So I say all that to say this message is coming through because some of you guys are going to find yourself becoming engaged, should I say, or sorry, you know, engaged. And the reason why I say engaged, I'm just keeping it real, just keeping it honest. If you just want to know the God honest truth, somebody is going to propose to you, but it's going to be in a form that it's coming in a box in a sense. And what I'm kind of getting is it's going to be to a point that some of you guys are going to be so excited that you're not going to really pay attention to kind of like what's going on. In other words, like this individual is not necessarily putting a ring on your finger, but they're giving you the engagement box in other words, like a surprise. So I kind of got the feeling it's a situation where you may end up slipping the ring on your finger yourself. But I just wanted to warn you guys of that. And the first thing I thought to myself was, if that's a situation that's not being done, that's not a situation, that's not going to be a situation that's going to last for long, should I say. And I don't mean to come with bearing bad news, and I'm not saying that to be funny, but we are in times now where we are no longer linking up with just any and everybody. And granted, some people are kind of like, okay, what I'm hearing is Spirit is trying to explain to me in a way so that I can get you to understand, because I know some of you are like, well, wait a minute, well, this is happening, and you said something about relationships, and that's true, but that's why it's so important for you to understand and resonate what is resonating with you, what is speaking to you, not necessarily what you want, but what is really speaking to your heart at that moment. But I say all that to say we're all on different paths. We're all on different levels. And when I say level, does not mean that it makes one person better than the other. It's just that one person has went through and experienced more stuff than the other one has experienced just yet. Meaning, like, let's just say hypothetically, like somebody may have started their path way before you started your path. In other words, like somebody could have started their path 20 years ago and you just now coming into your path. Well, you know, that message may apply to someone who is actually maybe right there within the middle or close to the end of their, you know, their journey, should I say. But I say all that to say that's why it's so important to just kind of pay attention to just like the little messages that are coming through, because it's meant to kind of like you're here being presented with choices. I'm giving you the information. It's up to you what you choose to do with it. You can go left or you can go right. It's totally up to you, you know. But I'm just here to give you the information. Whether the information is, I don't want to say whether it's good or bad, because it's just basically warning information, should I say. But anyway, I'm going to move on from that. But anyway, so for whoever is receiving a ring, should I say, you know, make no doubt, I am happy for those individuals. But what I do want, more importantly than anything, I want people, it's not about what I want. I know for me, I would want that one true love in my life, and I can't speak for anybody else. So I know sometimes we may want that one to come through here, but sometimes God knows what it is. And I know I hear somebody saying, but yeah, if that person's coming to propose to me, isn't that sent from God? Everything is not necessarily sent from God. That's why it's so important to have that relationship with God, so that way God will show you, you know, who it is that you're supposed to be, who it is that you're supposed to be with. But nevertheless, again, what I'm hearing is the situation is not good or it's not bad in either which way, because nevertheless, if you find yourself experiencing a situation, it's just going to be a situation of where you're learning lessons along the way. So even if you do choose to go on with the engagement, which is not a problem again, because maybe you were meant to go down that path. It just depends. But you know, your higher self will lead you and guide you. You know, things will work out in its favor. You know, I've seen it one too many times where a situation where people get engaged and then all of a sudden it's called off like just that quick too. So just be mindful of that too. And I'm not saying that to be funny, but I'm just saying that actually from, you know, actually hearing other people, you know, dealing with that situation. And for some particular reason, God keeps showing me, okay, thank you, Spirit. Okay, because I kept wondering like why God kept showing me, thank you, Spirit. God kept showing me, okay, I know yesterday I explained to you guys that there was a relationship that I had prior to me actually getting married to my spouse or whatever, that, you know, me and that individual were really good friends or whatever, like the best of friends, should I say, you know, prior to my marriage or whatever, or prior to me running to my husband at the time, should I say. But anyway, with all that being said, I was engaged another time too, where I was actually engaged. I was probably about 21 or something like that. But I really feel like this message is for those who are around about the age of like 26 or 27. I think it's 27, what I'm hearing, 27. Anyway, the age of 27. I believe this message is for you guys. So, but anyway, so, okay. So let's just say between 26 and let's just say to maybe 30 or whatever, in that range. But I'm really hearing like the 27. But anyway, so with that being said, when I was like about 21 years old, I was engaged to a guy who was in the military or whatever the case may be. And I was engaged to him, you know, he had proposed to me and so on and so on. But, and this is, I guess I was meant to give you this story. So it's a matter of pay attention, because earlier that relationship kept popping back up in my head. I was like, why is that popping back up in my head? And then I kept kind of like dismissing it. I was like, okay, yeah, but I was like, why is it popping up? But I realized that Spirit was trying to get my attention as like that situation that I had experienced when I was like around 21 years old. I was engaged to someone who was in the military, and granted at the time he was from Philly, but he was in the Marine Corps, and he was actually stationed down in he was in the DMV area for a minute. This is where I met him at. And let's just say he got stationed because he graduated. He wanted to become a higher rank in the military. He became a higher rank, and then he decided to go down to Atlanta to be, to go to Morehouse, should I say. So I say all that to say that he was meant to go. He was down in Atlanta going to school down there around about the time that he had proposed to me, should I say. Because when he was up here, we weren't engaged yet. We was just dating. But anyway, so at some point, we got engaged, should I say. But I say all that to say, Divine Spirit of Light is bringing to my attention, like, that was a situation for me. Well, let me say this. I didn't like the fact that we was having, I guess, a long distance relationship. And then there was a piece of me in the back of my mind was, I felt like intuitively, like even then, like even though I didn't know I was really intuitive at that time, but I just felt like I was seeing these different scenarios in the back of my head that was possibly taking place, or should I say, and then, there was just led me to question certain things. So it just got to a point that I just felt like at some point in time, like, he would come back and forth to visit or whatever when he come up. But I got to a point, like, I felt like I was drifting away, should I say, from the relationship, because I felt like it wasn't sincere. I felt like it wasn't sincere, should I say. And I felt like maybe he was just doing it. And this came into my train of thought too, like that person is just proposing because they thinking that that's what they supposed to do, because that's what's been done, or that's the example that they have kind of seen. And it's not so much like it's heart-based. Not saying that they don't care, they don't love that person, but it's a different type of love when you actually run into the person that you are supposed to be with, if that kind of makes sense. But anyway, I say all that to say I started drifting away, from him, should I say, and to the point that, it got to the point that I wasn't really trusting. I got a feeling like that I didn't really trust him, should I say. And I knew for me, trust was a very big, important part of a relationship. And I knew that if I couldn't trust him, why am I with him, should I say? So I say all that to say that it just gotten to the point that, one day he had actually came to visit, and I basically had told him, I'd end up giving him his ring back, should I say. And I say all that to say because I just felt like within my heart of heart that he wasn't the one, even though it felt like at the time that he was the one, it really felt like that he wasn't the one, should I say. So I say all that to say that Spirit is bringing that to my train of thought, because again, it's not me saying that, supposed to be engaged. That's not me hating, because I'm not hating on people. I love to see people come together. I love to see people in relationships, healthy relationships, should I say, and long-lasting relationships, and not just relationships because they feel like it's, oh, I need this person, or I need this person to make me feel good, or I need this person to validate me, or I need this person in my life because no. Yeah. But even though he was pursuing big things in his life, which is funny because he was becoming a teacher, and I was actually a teacher in early childhood education at the time, should I say. And I thought it was funny because I thought to myself, I was like, okay, well, our paths are, they're parallel to each other. I was like thinking to myself, well, we can do so many good things, because he loved to help and volunteer, help the youth. And that was my thing at the time. Like, the kids that was at our child care center that we had, it's like, I enjoyed kind of like being the role model for them in a sense, or just kind of reinforcing their behavior. And it's kind of like what he did. So I thought maybe that was also too like the path. I was like, oh, we can do so much, so many big things together, thinking that, oh, we're all on the same page. But it was like, God was like, no, it may look like you're on the same page, but you're really not on the same page. And I don't even know why I said that. Maybe that's a message for someone. You may feel like your paths are parallel to each other to the point that you think that this is the one. But again, so I just wanted to give that information to someone. But anyway, so the next little dream I saw was, it was as if I was screwing in a light bulb. Like I was taking out one light bulb that was shaped very differently. And I was questioning, and it was like in a little closet. So it was just letting me know that some of you guys are shining, because I was changing the light bulb, and the light bulb was different from the one I was about to screw in. It was shaped different. It was almost like it was deformed, is what I'm hearing. it wasn't a usual light bulb that I normally see, and I've never seen this type before, the way it was shaped. So Spirit just brought that to my attention. Like the light bulb was deformed, like it was deformed, but it had its shape to it, but it was deformed in the sense. But it kind of hard to explain that. But anyway, so with that being said, some of you guys are gonna some of you guys are changing your perspective and your mindset on things. You're thinking of possibly, you know, because the light bulb represents light. So in other words, shining light in dark places. So some of you guys are going to start coming to that revelation of, let me change my mindset. Let me change my perspective on things. And you're going to see that shining light on those dark areas of your life, the things that you have hidden, tucked away in a closet, you know, that you don't want to tell people about, or that you try to keep hidden from people. It's almost like you're ready to shine light in that area in order to free yourself, is what I'm hearing. So and this is what I was talking about when I said divine spirit of light gives me little riddles sometimes. Most messages usually come in a story form, but this time it was coming in a form of, okay, guess what this means. But anyway, so along with the help of the guidance, you know, of the intuitive information I was receiving as well too, of what it meant. But anyway, so I did actually Google, you know, the possible meaning of changing a light bulb or whatever, and it was just basically talking about what you have been hiding basically in the dark, in a sense. Enlightenment, hope, new ideas and visions. You are approaching a situation from a new direction. So those are like little examples of, you know, just replacing a light bulb. And then there was this situation. This is the next dream. So it was 4 that came through last night. They was very brief and very settled and not very much information. So I saw it was if a couple was sitting on a couch, like there was a coffee table in front of them. Somebody was coming and serving them drinks on a tray. And there were 2 glasses that was on a tray, but I couldn't really tell what was in the glass, because I didn't know if it was like alcohol, but it looked very clear. So I'm gonna just take it as if it was water in a glass. But I was thinking to myself, like, most people just normally hand somebody some water, but rather than put it on a tray. But anyway, with that being said, for me, that information came through as because the 2 couples who were sitting on the couch, it represents somebody who is actually in a relationship together. The glass was representing being able to see clearly, because the glass was clear, being able to see clearly. And because the water was in the glass, the water was actually representing emotions and feelings, that the 2 of them are seeing very clearly amongst each other, I guess, pertaining to their relationship, should I say. Now, I can't really say what the outcome of that situation is going to be, but it's going to be a situation where people who are in relationships, they're going to see very clearly of, like, almost like their what word am I looking for, Spirit? They're basically going to see their, little help, please. They're going to see their situation in a relationship, for whatever it is, you know, whether it's situations, whether it's, I don't want to say, they're just going to be able to see things very clearly. In other words, it's going to allow them to be into their emotions, their feelings. They're going to get in touch with their feelings on what I'm hearing is the real situation of their relationship. You know, especially if you've been someone who's thinking that, oh, I'm in a relationship, oh, everything is peachy cream, everything is hunky-dory, is what I'm hearing. And, you know, there's nothing wrong, but they're going to be getting very clear on things, is what I'm hearing. So anyway, those were all the messages that I received, but I am going to pull some quick cards real quick. And this is so funny because when I was shuffling the cards, I decided to keep this one because Spirit said keep it. But anyway, this one says Divine Masculine. This one fell out as I was pre-shuffling. I'm going to shuffle again, but I was told to keep this one. The frequency of divine masculine supports our strong, focused, and active side, allowing it to express itself while helping us to bring our dreams and ideas in form with kindness and wisdom. So that resonated with the hexagram. Jewish star, however you want to refer to it, the Star of David, however you want to refer to it. To me, I just refer to it as a star's protection. Can I have a message of pure white light and pure unconditional love only for the spirit pertaining to this message? And I noticed that this is these messages that came through, because I always look at the theme of the messages that come through and see if they kind of relate to each other. You know, the first one was about they all pertain into like relationships. That's what I noticed. That's so funny. And now I see actually my never mind. Thank you, Spirit. Pertaining to relationships. Thank you, Spirit. Anyway. She's so funny. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Divine Spirit. Can I have a message that is of pure white light and pure unconditional love only for the collective? What message do you have for the collective that is of pure white light? Just so you guys know, these cards are really big, so my hands are really small. So yeah, I have to kind of hold them a certain way in order to. Some cards are bigger than others. Divine Spirit, what message do you have for the collective? Message do you have for the collective? Thank you. Sacral chakra. The frequency of the sacral chakra, the orange flower of life, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power and manifests success and abundance in our lives. Boom. Just do one more. Thank you, Spirit. Romantic flower. Interesting. Because you guys don't know, but the sacral chakra is also it deals with relationships. The chakra system, it deals with relationships. It represents sex, it represents relationships, and the key is there's a high as well as there's a low part of the chakras. So, you know, if it's in perfect balance, it's more representing the positive side. And if it's not in balance, you know, there could be a low side of it, you know, where people have like the sexual addictions and so on and so on. But usually when it's within balance, they have healthy relationships with people, or, you know, even in friendships or whatever, you know, or healthy sexual relationships. And I'm talking about people who are in partnership. They're just not running around here sleeping with any and everybody. No judgment. I'm just saying. But anyway, it says romantic love. The frequency of romantic love supports our journey to feel whole and complete through the experience with and reflection of a conscious lover. So boom. Thank you, Spirit. So that was one. I just decided I was divinely guided to use my sacred geometry cards. So I'm going to use these real quick too. Spirit, what message do you have for the collective? Really quick, what message do you have for the collective that is a pure white light, a pure unconditional love only, that you want them to know about this prophetic message that was received? What message do you have for the collective that is a pure white light and pure unconditional love only? Now, I told you guys I was looking at the recurring theme of the dreams, like it's pertaining to relationships, even though it was different aspects of the situation, but You know, the one with the 6-point star, that one is definitely a healthy situation. You know, unlike, I'm not going to say that the other ones aren't necessarily unhealthy, but they're just there to teach lessons. That's all. Teach lessons of what I'm hearing is of what really matters and what you really want in life, and not just settling for, oh, again, God came through. Relationships. Thank you, Spirit. Relationships. I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. I just said that, right? I was explaining to you about the one time I was engaged to the person that I called it off with him and gave back his ring, should I say, because I knew he wasn't the one, even though we was engaged for a minute, but I just didn't feel like at ease. Like I knew he wasn't the one. At the time when we got engaged, I thought he was the one. But as time went on, I was like, you know, not even waste my time or his time, because I really, and the funny thing about that is, I believe, well, not believe, now that I know what I know he was a soulmate, because the truth of the matter is, I mean, we all have kind of like soulmates, but the funny thing about this is, I remember having a dream about him years ago, probably like almost 20 years ago. Let's see. Probably almost like 20 years ago or something like that. And I remember the last time I had spoken to him, should I say, was probably like about, no, actually, you know what? The last time I had spoken to him, I just basically, he had reached out to me and he said that he saw my number when he was packing up, I guess, his desk to, I guess, leave his job or something like that. And he was clearing out his desk or whatever. So he found my number and I was like, oh, okay. But anyway, so he reached out to me and I thought it was a little odd, but, and I had basically told him, I asked him how was everything, and he told me that he was getting engaged to someone else. And I was like, oh, okay, so I'm happy for you, because what you don't know was I had prayed that even though I had broke it off with him, I've always prayed and hoped that he had found the person that was a match for him, should I say. So it just goes to show you, I'm not walking away feeling bitter or angry about a situation, or, you know, wishing somebody ill will, or you ain't gonna find nobody better than me. Not saying all that. But, you know, it's like I've always prayed that God will allow the right person to come into his life. So I say all that to say, you know, some years ago when he did reach out to me, because I spoke to him prior to that time, and I just told him I had a dream about him, that I prayed that, you know, he would, I prayed that he would find somebody, you know, for him, or whatever the case may be. But anyway, he eventually did, because the last time he reached out, he told me that he was engaged to get married and so on. He said he had a little bit of hesitation, but I was just like, that's just something he has to go through, and I can't tell him what to do in the situation. But, you know, but I just told him I wished him the best, or whatever the case may be. So I say all that to say, you know, it just goes to show you how sometimes that, you know, sometimes you just have to wish people, you know, wish them well, and, you know, send them on their way, or whatever the case may be, because they not necessarily the one for you. But God is good. Anyway, so relationships, I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. So it's not about settling for people who just, you know, just to say, oh, I got a ring on my finger, you know. And it was so funny, because even when I got engaged then around 21, where I see a lot of these people nowadays, they post on social media like their whole engagement, like, girl, and I mean, I'm not judging them, but, you know, I think I showed my daughter one time, or whatever the case may be, and I was just like, I can tell that these, and I don't even know why I'm getting on this subject, but I guess Spirit wants me to tell you guys this, because the girl, a few of the videos I watched, it was like talk about engagements or whatever the case may be, and it just so happened that these individuals, and I can tell it was more so about materialistic and just because these people are hitting these milestones in their life, or, you know, at a certain age in their life, and they feeling like, oh, I got to get married by this time frame, or whatever the case may be, and I have to get married by this time frame, and it was more so of, I'm just telling you what I'm being told. Like, oh, I have to hurry up and get married by this time frame because I'm this age. But if you pay attention to the videos when people are getting engaged, I see more people congratulating, oh, girl, let me see that ring, rather than, you know, congratulating the couple themselves. And, you know, it's almost like they're mesmerized with the ring, rather than just saying, oh, wow, you know, like, girl, let me see that ring. Let me see that ring. You know, I just think it's kind of funny or whatever. But, you know, it just kind of lets me know to me, I see it as, seeing it from my perspective, I see it as, you know, it's more so of, you know, just saying, hey, well, oh, he proposed to me. You know what I mean? So it's kind of almost like materialistic is what I'm hearing. But anyway, and not necessarily heart-based. But anyway, I'm just going to pull one more card and see what Spirit has to say. So now that we know, we don't pull 2 cards on relationships. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you so much for coming through. Oh, why am I reshuffling this again? I already did that. Ooh. Healthy. Healthy relationships. Anyway, so health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. So, again, I find that funny that this card actually came out. Our bodies are temples. So, that's what I'm hearing. Our bodies are temples. Healthy relationships. So, in other words, take care of your vessel, y'all. Take care of your vessel and, you know, just be mindful of how it's being treated. You know, you deserve the utmost respect. But remember, people are not going to respect you unless you respect yourself. Real talk. But anyway, I'm going to end it there. And I thank God, Soul, Spirit. Thank you so much for that message for the collective. And I am hoping that you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'm getting ready to go in here, watch a movie with my kids, and do me and get my me time in afterwards. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your Sunday. Yeah, until I receive the next message, I wish you all much love, much light, and much blessings. Bye.